Sometimes all you need is something that's mass appealing, easy to like, easy to wear, just smells good. And in this video, I've definitely got 10 that smell really good. Easy to just spray on and go, work with anything, you're gonna smell fresh, you're gonna smell pleasing to those around you, and you're definitely gonna like the way you smell. Stay tuned. Starting with the newest release in the Boss Bottled line, this is basically a bluer, more modern take on the original's DNA. This is Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. So you will get some of that fruity apple, cinnamon, apple pie vibe going here, but instead of cinnamon you get cardamom, so it's a nice sweet spice. A little bit of sage gives it that little touch of, little dash of Versace Eros thrown in there. It kind of gives that Versace Eros type of smell with it. And then you have this lovely fruitiness up top, dries into this sweet, lightly warm spice, reminiscent of the original, but like I said, much more blue, modern take. It does smell like a blue fragrance, that's why I say blue in the first place, but it's quite delightful. Like I said, if Boss No. 6 was to come out in this day and age as a brand new release, this is what it would be. This is the exact fragrance. This is taking that 90s classic and bringing it in the modern age, and that's exactly what's going on here. It's delightful, it performs really well, while not a beast, far from a weak fragrance, slightly above average to, you know, very good type of longevity, solid projection, you will get noticed with it. It's very easygoing. It smells really good. It doesn't smell like every blue fragrance, it just smells like the blue version of Boss Bottled. That's Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. In my opinion, this particular fragrance takes the best of three really good fresh fragrances and combines them into one. This being Lacoste L1212 White, the Eau de Parfum flanker. I believe it takes highlights of the original, the Eau de Toilette, mixed with a little bit of YSL Y EDT, meets the opening of Coach Blue. Interesting combo, I agree. So the finger lime note that's in here gives this lime, absinthe, green, bright, juicy fruit freshness that reminds me of a little hint of the original with some Coach Blue. That's why I get the Coach Blue comparison. As it starts to dry, it resembles much more of YSL Y. It does perform average, 6-ish hour fragrance. You know, nothing super special here, but for being mega fresh, strong compliment getter, super easy to like, definitely gears more towards the warmer weather, but there's never a bad time to smell fresh, trust me. And this is extremely fresh. All three of those fragrances I mentioned that I believe it takes cues from are extremely fresh, easy to like, and mass appealing fragrances, which makes this kind of an amalgamation of all of them. It's very easy to like. Give it a try. While it doesn't smell exactly like the EDT, I think if you're looking for even fresher, you want to go with the EDP. That's Lacoste White L1212, the EDP. Now this next one's pretty new to my collection. I've only given it one full wearing so far with a couple of test sprays, and what I can tell you is it's not what I expected it to be. That being JAYNE, this is MONTABACO VERANO. So, very popular release, limited edition release from 2020, and I was surprised at how much ISOE Super and cashmere wood type of smell that I get from this. So this is an extremely blue niche fragrance. The quality's there, but the synthetics are there at the same time. Like I said, it's kind of like an ISOE Super bomb. I get this beautiful blast of grapefruit up top. I do get this leathery smell, but it's not a dense animalic leather. It's not rough and rugged. It's very smooth, supple leather. It's very soft, easy going, blends very well into this fragrance, especially with this ISOE Super. I wasn't expecting so much ISOE Super. The tobacco here is really toned down. It's not a very earthy fragrance. There's no earthy, darker, dry tobacco here. There's no heavy sweetness. It's basically like taking the ISOE Super out of Bleu de Chanel Parfum and some of the warmer woods and putting it with this very bright grapefruit tobacco leather. That's what I get the most of out of here so far. Performance is nothing short of impressive. It's every bit of a 9-hour fragrance on my skin. While not an absolute beast, that's well above average. Very, very good longevity, and it's not an overwhelming projection. It is pretty damn heavy in the first 2 hours, but after that, it really tames itself. It calms down quite a bit, but it's very present and prominent after that for several hours moving forward. So I've been impressed so far. That's why I had to include this one in this video. It fits the video topic perfectly. This is one that you kind of spray, and after it starts to calm down, you kind of forget about it until it just pops up to remind you it's still there. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a bright, fresh, easy wear fragrance that's signature scent worthy in my opinion, as long as you like ISOE Super, because it's quite dominant on my skin. It's citrus, it's a little soapy, it's extremely aromatic and fresh, while still having a lot of darker nuances to really bring it back down to earth and make it work better in the cooler months as well as the warmer months. True signature scent that's just easy to like. That's Ormonde Jayne, MONTABACO, VERANO. I believe this is my favorite in its line. It takes everything that's good about the original and really enhances and richens it up. I'm talking about YSL L'Homme Le Parfum. Does smell like the original, stays true to its DNA, but a much richer, more blue take on the fragrance. There's a little bit more warmth and spice here that isn't as present. While you still get some gingery type of smell, you still get the creamy soft wood smell that the original is known for with that bright citrus up top. It's definitely much more rich, well-rounded, and robust of a fragrance. Definitely performs much better than the original YSL L'Homme. The smell's incredible. It just, sadly, it's like a 3 or 4 hour fragrance these days, which isn't terrible as long as you can keep a bottle with you and refresh. There's a lot of fragrances out there that aren't super long lasting that, hey, just refresh. I do it all the time. With this one, 6 to 7 hours, definitely performs a bit better, so it will last you most of a work day. Even if you work 12-hour shifts, that's still past your halfway point. At least that's what it does on my skin. Very pronounced, can get you a compliment or two here and there, but it's more easygoing, easy to like, laid back type of scent that can kind of do a little bit of everything because it has enough density and a little bit of spice to give it character for the evenings, with enough freshness and versatility to do whatever you want during the day as well. And I think it works in every season. Depending on what season, you can control your sprays. Easier in the hot months, a little bit more in the cold months, and you'll be just fine with YSL L'Homme Le Parfum. So because of its versatility, how easy it is to like, to wear, it's hands down my favorite from the house. It really is. From ROJA Parfums, Oceania. This stuff is incredible. This was probably my most worn fragrance this past summer. It is just so good. Blast of citrus, salty aquatic marine feel without sea notes and all this other stuff. Has this bright floral freshness with a light powderiness from the iris and the violet that's in here. Lovely, gorgeous fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. I love how this stuff wears on my skin. The projection is not overwhelming, but always just seems to come back and remind you it's there hours and hours in. This is not a super strong fragrance. It's much more subdued and refined for a fresh, super fresh fragrance. But it has that sneaky type of ozonic aromatic quality where it gets out in the air and just a light portion of the aroma can reach out and grab somebody. This stuff is great. It really is. Works with a tank top on up to a suit and tie. Shines in the warm weather. The extremely hot weather especially. It'll really make this thing project. But it's such a great scent. I don't care if it's 0 degrees outside. It's still going to smell good in the snow. It just will. I can't imagine a time that's bad to wear this fragrance. It's as easygoing as they get. And for a niche house like ROJA Parfums that has a lot of daring and challenging fragrances and a lot of cheaper, heavy offerings, this is a breath of fresh air. This is a gorgeous citrus aromatic style fragrance that doesn't get much more mass appealing and easy to wear than ROJA Parfums Oceania. Kind of a forgotten fragrance in its own line. because there's so many wonderful flankers that have come from the Prada Luna Rossa line. Talking about Prada Luna Rossa, this is a 50 milliliter bottle. What's so easy going about this fragrance is it's laid back, yet clean and luxurious at the same time. It's easygoing, yet refined. It's got this clean, soapy, almost creamy, lightly powdery smell with a little bit of spice, a little bit of woods going on. It's not too in your face, but easy to like and easy to wear are understatements for Prada Luna Rossa. This set in motion the basis for what we see from all of its flankers. While I don't really get much of this DNA in the flankers, you get a little hint of it in Sport, you get a good bit of it, but a brighter version in O Sport. But Prada Luna Rossa Black, I haven't tried Ocean yet, and Prada Luna Rossa Carbon kind of veer away down the path of what this fragrance is about. This is probably the most easygoing in the line. Not a beast in any way, not real in your face. It's laid back and subdued. It's clean and refined. It works perfectly well with a t-shirt. It's a great t-shirt fragrance, but at the same time, it's nothing to throw on an Oxford, head out to dinner, head to work, wherever. This fragrance can do a little bit of everything. It's such a mass appealing delight. It really is. If you're looking for easy to wear, it's the highlight of the line. If you want attention grabbing, I would go the route of Carbon or Black, but if you want easy to wear, the original is definitely the way to go with Prada Luna Rossa. Undoubtedly, the most mass appealing fragrance from HAPPYLAND Studio. You see the banner right there. I'm talking about Shameless, one of the newest releases from the house. This takes so many elements of making a great, fresh, yet dense and versatile fragrance. This has a lot of fruitiness, a little bit of tart black currant up top, some soapy lavender, some creamy sweet vanilla, and a nice blast of ambergris to give it this salty marine aquatic blue type of feel. Really rounds this fragrance off. For being as fresh as it is, it still has the performance to cut through any type of cold and last any length of workday. This stuff is bordering a beast, super long lasting, very pronounced without being a room filler at the same time. The freshest and most mass appealing fragrance from HAPPYLAND Studio, and the one that's probably the easiest to dive into from the house. If you just want the safe bet from HAPPYLAND Studio, you need to check out Shameless. I've given this one quite a bit of wear since I got it. I love this fragrance. This stuff is great. It's an automatic top 3 fragrance from the house of HAPPYLAND Studio, in my opinion. That is Shameless. Next, if you like Acqua di Gio, but you hate its performance, there's an answer for that. It's called Bentley for Men SILVERLAKE, this reflective mirrored fingerprint magnet. This kind of has a reminiscent performance and smell of Acqua di Gio Essenza, which I mean, that's just the eau de parfum well-performing version of Acqua di Gio. So if you like Acqua di Gio and you want a slightly more modern, aquatic, amberwood heavy version that really performs, this is the way to go. They're getting cheaper at discounters. I had picked this bottle up somewhere in the mid-40s. I forgot how much it was, 42 or 46 or something like that, from fragrancebuy.ca a while back. They tend to carry it pretty regularly, and I believe it has been popping up at other discounters. But this is an 8 to 10 hour fresh complement magnet of a fragrance. One of the most versatile and well-liked fragrances of all time is Acqua di Gio. And like I said, this is the modern, well-performing take on it, essentially, from Bentley, that is cheaper than getting Acqua di Gio, performs way better, and kind of smells better, to be honest with you. I'm just going to say it outright. This smells better. It smells like, but smells better. And I know performance is very important to a lot of people, and this is bordering a beast. It does project very heavy. This is a head turner, attention grabber. It's lovely. It has that aquatic feel with a little bit of a warm wood undertone. It's super, super fresh. Fresh always works in every situation. And the stuff is great. Get your hands on it. If you're not a fan of Acqua di Gio style fragrances, you may not like this one. So try before you buy if you can. But if you like the fresh, mass appealing, aquatic type of fragrances that perform, you're looking for one that performs, check out Bentley for Men SILVERLAKE. So when the original Eau de Toilette came out, Not a ton of hype. A lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people didn't care for it. I actually thought it was a solid fragrance. Honestly, it's very fresh and powdery. Easy to like, juniper heavy type of fragrance. I think it's solid. But then they released this Eau de Parfum flanker, and it is just so much better. I'm talking about Dolce & Gabbana K. This is the Eau de Parfum. This is definitely better than the EDT. Like I said, I'm one of the few in the crowd that like the EDT. Man, the geranium's a bit more present here. It does have this bright, fresh, and this is going to sound weird. My buddy Fernando put this in my head, and I'll never not think it when I smell the opening now. Tresemme hairspray in the opening. I know that can sound off-putting, but it works. It oddly works, and he was accurate when he said that. Shame on you for putting that in my head, Fernando. But I digress. This stuff is very, very good. A lot of woods really shine on my skin. Like I said, the geranium's a bit heightened here. It doesn't add too much of a minty quality. It's more of an earthy type of geranium I find on my skin. And the juniper is still very, very present. Strong gin type of smell. I love this stuff, and it performs really well. It performs above average. This will be a little bit different than your run-of-the-mill mass appealing fragrance. It doesn't smell like everything else. It smells like Dolce & Gabbana K. You know, I don't have any other fragrances that smell exactly like this. More on the synthetic side, like I said, think Tresemme hairspray, oddly enough, in the opening. That does fade pretty quickly. And what you're left with is this moderately dense, warm, geranium juniper type of smell with a lot of strong woods in the background that really support this one. I really dig this fragrance, and I don't see too many people talking about it much, and I think more people should. It's really good. In my opinion, of course. Dolce & Gabbana K, EDP. Last but not least, we're double dipping with Dolce & Gabbana here right at the end. This is another one that there was a time when it didn't get any love, then it got a bunch of love as an underrated gem, and now the love has kind of faded once again. If you like The One and you want a fresher take on that, check out The One Gray from Dolce & Gabbana. Adds some citrus up top. It's fresher overall. It's a much more daytime oriented version of The One's scent profile. It stays very true to The One. It still has that ambery tobacco smell, but the sweetness here is toned back quite a bit. The tobacco is still present, but does not overtake the fragrance, and you get a lot more freshness up top. I believe there's some grapefruit is the citrus note that's up top. It doesn't really come across as grapefruit to me so much as this nice fresh fruit juice type of smell. Very lovely. Not a super strong performer, average at best type of stuff, 4 to 6 hours depending on your skin. You may have to respray this one depending on what you're going to wear it for, depending on your work day or whatever you're going to use it for. It's a great casual fragrance as well. But like I said, for those that like The One EDT, The One EDP, whatever, you love that scent, you just wish you had something a little bit fresher that smelled like it, well, that fragrance has been on the market for a while now. It's very easygoing, much easier to wear, much easier to like, in my opinion, than even the original The One, which is well beloved and an iconic fragrance at this point. Check this one out if you haven't. Very mass appealing, very laid back daytime version. Dolce & Gabbana The One Gray. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Do you have any of the 10 that I featured in here? Did any of them spark your interest and you've yet to try? Maybe you want to check them out now, because like I said, these are the types of fragrances that you can spray them on and just go on about your business. Some you may have to respray, some are way more performance than you even need for certain situations, but they're all easy to like. They're all mass appealing, they're crowd pleasing type of scents that are just easy to enjoy and work well in every situation. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of those 10 and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.